Finally, after a gap of 2 years, Google has released the successor to the phenomenal Nexus 5. And again, it has been made by LG, and of course, it's called the Nexus 5X. It is almost certainly a love letter to all those Nexus 5 fans Google disappointed last year. At the same time, thankfully, despite competition from upstarts like OnePlus and Xiaomi, it is the ultimate vessel for Android Marshmallow. Like the Nexus 5, the Nexus 5X is more workmanlike in design. It's not flamboyant, it's more functional like a tool. It's built out of plastic, feels solid, so it's not very flimsy, but it will not dazzle you like an iPhone 6s or even the Nexus 6P for that matter. It's a neatly designed phone with rounded corners, and it's super light at 136 grams. In fact, it is lighter than the iPhone 6s, and it's also pretty thin. Logic dictates everything about this device, so you'll find everything where you'll usually expect it to be. So on the right hand corner you get the power button and the volume rockers, which can be easily reached with your right hand, and on the bottom you find the USB Type-C connector and also a 3.5mm jack. The USB Type-C connector is unique and new to this phone, but unfortunately Google doesn't ship a USB Type-C to USB cable, so that means you can't really connect it to your PC and transfer content of it. When you reach out for your phone from your pocket, your index finger will automatically hit the fingerprint scanner, and by the time your phone is out, your phone would be unlocked, and this works out really well. Overall, it's a really compact device, and if you like small phones, then this will be the phone you want to get. The front of the phone is dominated by a 5.2-inch display which has a full HD resolution. Now this is an immensely clear display which represents accurate colors. It's got decent viewing angles also, and it's relatively bright. If we had to be overly critical about this display, then we'd had to say it's a little reflective, which could be problematic if you like to view content at extreme angles. But other than that, it's a really nice display, and it's on par with the display that was on the Nexus 5, which in its own right was really good. Google is really gung-ho about the camera in the new Nexus smartphones. It has got a new 12-megapixel sensor, and without going into a lot of details, we can just tell you it takes some great photos in most lighting conditions. If there's a problem with this camera, then the camera app is a little too slow to take photos, but that can also be resolved using a third-party application. Photos taken with this camera are really sharp with accurate colors, and overall they are really nice to look at. The rear camera now also takes 4K video, but the quality of the video is not on the same level as the iPhone 6s. On the front, you get a new 5-megapixel camera which takes some really good selfies, and they are on par with the Samsung Galaxy S6. Overall, outside the iPhone 6s and the Galaxy S6, this is probably the best camera phone in the market, and suffice to say, this is the best Nexus camera you've ever gotten. Now, the main draw of any Nexus smartphone is the latest version of Android. Nexus smartphones are the Nest Google builds for their new versions of Android, and in the case of Android Marshmallow, it is the Nexus 5X and the 6P. On the Nexus 5X, Android Marshmallow shines through. It's a refinement, and it's not going to be a game changer up against what Lollipop was, but it's a really good update. The headline feature is something what Google calls Now on Tap. Essentially, you tap and hold the home button, and automatically Google will scan everything that's there on screen, and it'll scan through for keywords, and on the basis of keywords it'll offer you contextual information, links and whatnot. Another key feature of Android Marshmallow is something Google calls Doze. Now, Doze is a software-based power state which basically enables the phone to last much longer, especially when it is in standby mode. And coupled with the 2700 mAh battery, it lasts really long. In a normal day, with heavy usage, the phone is going to last around about 12 hours. With light usage, using Doze, the phone can last in excess of 20 hours. The phone is really good at multitasking. You can have umpteen number of Chrome tabs open and have more than 20 apps open, and the phone will not show signs of stuttering or lagging, which is really good. Even for gaming, you can play all the latest games without lags or frame rate drops, and it's going to be a really good experience. If there's going to be a problem, then the phone really gets a little warm near the camera bulbs, but that's not uncommon with most Android phones. Call quality is really good, and we don't have anything surprising to report out here. The phone is offered in 16GB and 32GB variants. We would recommend you to buy the 32GB version because just 16GB of memory just doesn't really cut it these days. And overall, this phone also supports 4G capabilities, which is really good. Another thing worth of note is this Nexus imprint scanner on the back. It's really fast and accurate, and you're going to love it. It's faster than the iPhone 6, believe that, but it's not as fast as the iPhone 6s, which is still not too bad because the experience overall is just superb. It may not be a slam dunk in terms of value, but make no mistake, the Nexus 5X is the return of the people's champion. It's a phone with superb performance, a great camera, good screen, and solid battery life. It may not dazzle you with its form, its design, but it will get the job done without any fuss while offering you the latest updates directly from Google and good after sales.